What is going on, everybody? Brick Builder here, and welcome to a brand new episode of iCraft SMP. In today's episode, we're going to be working on our port city, but first, I have to show something off that Glitch completed. Glitch is one of the members on the iCraft server, and I asked him to build me this giant evil pirate ship, and it looks pretty darn awesome. He did this. It took a little bit of time because of, IRL stuff and then scheduling, but we ended up building this ship. By we, I mean he did. He also built all the other ships around here, and we did a collab a while back of that. But yeah, he built this awesome ship in the town for me, which is quite awesome. It's a nice size, and we have a bit of decorating that we're going to do with this thing eventually. But as of now, we're just going to leave it empty, but we will eventually decorate this place up, either in a stream or a video or something. I don't know, we're off camera, but it'll eventually get decorated, and this is just going to be another element of the port city. But today we're starting on a section of the port city that I'm not really sure why I started. Like, it wasn't in the plans, it's just something that came to me and I wanted to start it. So we're gonna work on it. So I don't know if you guys watch this Minecraft YouTuber. His name's BWO or B-Dubs, but he's come back. He's had a lot of family issues, but he's back to making videos now. I highly recommend him, highly entertaining for survival, Minecraft content, building, etc. But he's a series called Building with BWO where he builds a ton of different cities and stuff. And recently, I don't know, I've just been really enjoying it. So I wanted to work on my own sub-city. So I'm making this in here. Now it might look like I've done a lot, but I really haven't. All I've done is the planning. I've built the wall and I've built the roads. But the wall goes all the way around here. If we fly up, you can see the wall. It's a fairly good chunk of place, and then also if you look, we also have the roads all laid out, and I think they look pretty good. Let's try to get up on top of one of these cobblestone walkways here. There we go. So as you can see, it's got a pretty good design in my opinion. We got a nice shape. It's a square, but it's not too square. We got a bunch of buildings in there we're gonna have fun with, and the roads are a pretty nice design if you ask me. So I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. Now, as far as what the roads are actually made out of, we're using a combination of the stone slab and light gray concrete. And I think these colors contrast perfectly because they're relatively similar, but they're not too similar, so it works. But today we're going to be building the fountain while just talking a bit about this area, kind of my ideas for it and all that sort of thing. So if you guys do enjoy, like and subscribe. But for starters, we need a name for this area of the port city. So if anybody has any ideas for names, let me know down in the comments. I want something that's either cool or in a different language and it means something. We need something is what I'm trying to get at here. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. And we're going to take some wood as well. But we're going to be working on the fountain. Now I wanted to put a fountain directly in the center, but I tried that and it doesn't work as well. So I decided to put it here. It's kind of off to the left of the design, but I like it a lot. Also, I'm not really sold on this gateway. It's too wood in comparison to all the stone around it. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. That might be changing, but we'll see. So I think the first thing we gotta do with this fountain is figure out how we're gonna add some detail into it. And also we're gonna need a bit of the concrete. But so yeah, this area here, it's like a walled off, kind of secluded area of the port city. And I would say it's more or less I want to say one of these safer areas, but I don't know if that's the right terminology. Regardless, it's going to be a wealthy-ish type area full of just, I don't know, a different kind of style than what's out there. Just because I wanted to change it up, you know what I mean? To keep things entertaining in Minecraft with building, you have to try to, you can't just build the same thing over and over and over again. So for me, I wanted to try doing something a little bit different here. I haven't really built many walled cities in my Minecraft experience. I've built a ton of cities in my Super Survival single player. I've done a bunch there. In Vanilla Views, I did a bunch there. But I've never really done any walled cities. And I think there's a lot of reasons why I don't usually do that. But it's because I don't usually do this planning. And I think, honestly, the planning that I'm doing right now is going to make this probably one of my better builds that I've made. because I don't usually plan things out all that much, and it might not look like much of a plan, because truthfully, my plan for making the plan was just we're gonna try something and see what happens. But we now have a plan that I think works really well. Now, do we have any sea lanterns around here? There we go. But yeah, I just think overall we're gonna create this really cool secluded city, which will be, I guess, like a higher wealth area, if you want to like use that terminology. But I don't think that that's just the style we're gonna go for. And I don't know if stone brick is gonna be what we build all these different buildings out of. It was just the material I was using for laying everything out. So if anybody goes, there's too much stone brick, there's too much stone brick, I don't know if stone brick is gonna be what we use there. Because yeah, I do agree. There's a potential for there to be too much stone in this area. Just being that we have a cobblestone and andesite wall, which was originally just cobblestone, but I needed to mix in something else. Like it was just too cobblestone otherwise. So I had to do this. And I think that also where we put this area is quite nice, because there's like a river over here, and I didn't extend the docks this way because I didn't really know what we were going to do over here. I don't know if we're going to extend the docks all down here or if we're not going to. But regardless, I think that the wall is just a good way of segregating us from that side there. Now, there's one really unfortunate element here that I'm not super pleased with, which is the grass. It changes color as soon as it gets over here, which is quite annoying in my opinion. I would have liked it to, you know, not change grass color throughout. But it's kind of out of my control since we're in survival. You know, we're in multiplayer, so I can't really, like, just change it with world edit if I wanted to type thing. So I'm just gonna have to deal with it, but it'll be okay. I mean, it's not like a huge deal. Plus, I don't know how much you'll notice it once we're actually done with all the decorations and all that stuff. Now, with the whole, like, kind of inspiration from B-dubs thing, I think we have to talk a little bit about kind of the style we're gonna be going for this area. And I think one of the things we're gonna go for is I want to try a bit more with the... Okay, so usually I do things in two ways. So usually my builds are a little bit more mathematical, a bit more calculated. But with this project that we're taking on today, that's gonna need to change. I want to try to make the project be more or less focused on the actual, like, decorating. So, like, you know, all the trees and stuff like that. That can be mathematical, that can be calculated, I'm okay with that. But the process of building the buildings, I don't want the buildings to be as, like, you know, symmetrical, or I guess you, like these buildings out here, they all follow a, you know, like a pattern, and there's no, like, unevenness, and there's no, like, anything that isn't uniform. So the buildings in here, their vernacular isn't gonna be so, like, see, like, all the, okay, let me try to explain this. So see how all these builds are, like, different shapes, and they all have, like, really weird shapes and stuff? I want to try to do more building like that, because I build a lot of things kind of with a basic, gotta keep it very traditional sense, and I want to try to change that. So that's why we're gonna be going for weird shapes, we're gonna go for odd shapes, we're gonna go for a bit more busy mishmash type of style for this area, just because it'll change it up and it'll be something I haven't really done in my Minecraft experience all that much. Like, B-dubs is really good at this, and I mean, that's not exactly why we're building it like this, but it's just like, it was sort of the spark that was like, we should try to do this. And okay, the water works, and then right here, this is where this would go, 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 and that would go, and that would go. Now I'm gonna go grab a bucket of water, because we're gonna want to have our water just in case. But I think we're gonna go for like, all these buildings here are, like, very similar, you know what I mean? They follow a pattern. If I was gonna, like, in here, if I was gonna put these buildings in here, the difference would be none of these would all look the same. They look very different. The doors would be in different places. The roofs would be slightly different. The apes would be slightly different. Just everything would be a bit different. But as far as the buildings out there, I want them to be like that. But in here, I'm going for odd shapes. I'm going for different designs. I'm going for all of that. But the actual, like, roads, the lighting that'll be in here, the bushes, the shrubbery, all the different plants and stuff, that'll have a bit more of a system. Like, we're not just gonna randomly throw down plants and stuff inside of these walls, just because that doesn't really work. Now, I think we made pretty good progress on this fountain, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab a few more resources, and then we're gonna get working on a little bit more of the decoration. I'm not really sure what it is, but harvesting these leaves is just so satisfying. It probably has to do with how fast you actually end up breaking all the leaves. Like, it's just so quick, and it's great that this resource that we're going to be using in the build as a decoration doesn't take like any time at all for us to actually gather. Just because, like, I like when, you know, some things are fast like this and we can get it. I mean, I do love a grind. I appreciate a good grind, but sometimes time constraints, you know, get in the way. So we have a ton of leaves now. While we're here, we might as well grab a ton of these as well. I don't really know if they'll be used, but I mean, hey, we might as well grab and watch all this different, like, mobbery over here. Pearl out. I've been using ender pearls a lot since we have a really good ender now. And there's a witch and an enderman in here. Oh my gosh, now I'm poisoned. See, look, all these dang invaders. This is why we need to get lightning and such in here. Now, we're gonna need to go ahead and grab a ton of lighting. So, let's get to a safer place than in here. Because there's a lot of mobs that can spawn in there right now, being as the server is on hard difficulty. There's a pretty good potential for some dangerous mobs in there. And we do not want to die. So, let's get in here and go ahead and get into this thing here and give me this. That should hopefully be enough sea lanterns. We're probably gonna need a bit more, so let's see. Let's go ahead and scout through this chest. Now, yes, these chests are unorganized. No, they will not stay like this. They're going to become organized eventually, but I just had other priorities in the world than organizing chests, so, you know, we'll get to organizing those someday, but that day is not today. So, until then, just deal with it. And, okay, come on. Now, also, one thing I'd like to quickly just do that I think would be quite convenient is go ahead and give me a little bit of dark oak. Let's go ahead and get the fence gates, just fence gate up, you know what I mean? So that way our gateway there is just a little bit more protected, I guess. This gateway here, and of course we made one less than we're gonna need for 2 wide, so I guess we're just doing a 1 wide for now, which is okay. And let's actually, while we're there, quickly, watch out for the creeper. We don't want it to blow up on us, but let's go ahead and grab these and go like this. And we have a way to quickly get out, because I really love using the pressure plates to get out. So we'll put pressure plates right there, so then you can just step and you can walk on out. Very easy and very convenient. Okay, so as far as lighting goes, this is how we're going to be hiding lighting. And we're gonna need to grab a ton of the, what are they called? The slabs to hide lighting, because I really only in the road used half slab. Like, obviously I'm not gonna place it on the top and on the bottom, you know, unless we needed to. And we're going to need to do that now with the hiding of the lighting, so that way it doesn't look like we went cheapo on the resources. So, we're gonna be going like this, like this, like this, and like that, and then we throw a leaf. See, it works. The lighting isn't hidden that well. It's not hidden too much. Like, the leaves are still relatively obvious, so I'm thinking we're gonna go with this, although that could definitely change depending on, you know, the circumstances, because there might be better ways of hiding lighting than this, and if somebody has a better idea, let me know down in the comments, because I'm definitely looking for better lighting ways to hide it than this, but this will definitely suffice for now. Plus, I mean, if it's Minecraft, if we don't like something, we can change it out. But we're just gonna go ahead and throw beams of lighting like this across different areas. I'm going for 3 wide primarily, I think is gonna be the length I go for. Let's throw one here. Although, keeping it spontaneous is going to be important, because if we keep them too systematically, it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? Like, these can't be systematic, so we're gonna go like this, like that, and like that. Boom. Boom. And a boom. And we might also swap these out to better leaves, because jungle leaves are better for this, 1000%. I just didn't know where I mean, I know there is a jungle on the server, and I've been there before, but I don't remember where it is at the moment, so I don't want to, you know, spend 20 years trying to find a jungle. But we need to put a ton of lighting, because I really don't want mobs to spawn here, like, at all. Like, if that was possible, that would make my day. Like, if no mobs spawned in here ever, that'd be amazing. Just straight up. Because I'm not here, you know, I don't really care if mobs, like, mobs shouldn't spawn in this place. Like, this is supposed to be the secluded, the protected, the wealthy area. And how are the, like, the wealthy people are not gonna want mobs, you know what I mean? I mean, not that the poor people in our port city are gonna want them, but they're just not gonna be able to afford to keep them away. Like, we got the wall around here. That's half the reason we have the wall. And we're gonna need a piece of cobble there. So that way, you know, it flows well. Because that's the only downside to doing this, is we gotta make sure that, like, the edges all work as well, which is, you know, a thing. But we're gonna get a bunch of lighting in, like so, and we'll do that all around this area, of course, as time goes on. But I think you guys get the general gist of the lighting, and it works. I'll admit, it's probably not the best, but once we add in, like, other shrubberies like this, and such, you won't even notice it, especially if we, like, cover it and stuff like this. You'll have no idea that's how we're hiding lighting, unless you do, because you watch the video, but that's besides the point. So we can do little lighting tricks like this, just to kind of cover up our lighting, and I mean, it should work. You know, we gotta be careful with it, though, of course, not overusing it. We can throw ferns, things like that, you know what I mean? Like, look, that little corner there, you don't even notice there's lighting unless you physically walk right over the lights. And no, we're not going to throw grass there, guys. I thought that was where my food was, because I need to munch on some chicken McNuggets. So I think you guys get the general gist of the lighting in here, and I think you guys get the general gist of kind of my ideas for this area. Again, I need a name for it. Ideally, I think I'd like a name that's like a word in another language that means something, so you guys can use Google Translate and just play around with it. I'll come up with some ideas as well. And in the next video, I'll let you know, guys, what the name is going to be eventually once we figure one out that we're happy with. But I'll see you in another iCraft video. Thank you so much for watching.